A lot of young aspirants today are in the dilemma to whether start their practice immediately or after their course or work for a while. And if so, then how long do you suggest that one should go about it?
So, as per me and my experience, I would say that, you know, academics and professional working are two separate verticals.
Okay.
And when you're in school, you're in college, I mean, when you pass out, you feel you know everything, but as per me, you don't know anything at all. I can just share my experience when I passed out, and I passed out with flying colors, first class and everything, and I thought I knew everything. And my first day in the office, I was just given a sketch and asked to draft something. And that was the moment when I thought I didn't know anything. I didn't know where to start from, how to start. And it was until a co-worker came in and he told me, and I asked him, he was my senior, I asked him how, boss has given me this and how do I start? And that was the point. He showed me, he handheld me, and he gave me the tips, how you should start a plan, how you should actually start doing something which was commercially going to be built, and it's going to be, somebody's going to live in there.
Right.
It's not like college that, it's a fantasy, you do something and it's never going to be built. And whether it's possible to build it or not, you're not aware of that. So education and your actual working are two different verticals. They're two separate things. Don't think after getting out, you know everything, you don't know anything. You've got to start with a fresh slate.
Right.
And I would say you got to work with a company at least for 2 to 3 years to 5 years before you start thinking of doing a building. Because in the initial days when I started, there were only 7-storied buildings, 10-storied buildings. So we used to finish a 10-storied building in 2 years or 2.5 years, or maximum 3 years. But today, the buildings are very complex. They are not individual standalone buildings. In many cases, they are mixed use. Mm-hmm. They are couple of users, which are there in it. They may be in the same complex, or they may be stacked one on top of the other.
Right.
So these normally take at least 5 years to complete. And I would say you should go through the entire cycle, right from design to completion and to handing over, to understand the whole process.
Right.
Learn the process so that you don't make a mistake when you actually start working. Because it's not only making a drawing, you're going to play with a lot of lives.
Right.
You have to keep the end user in mind, and you have to make it viable. You're playing with a lot of people's lives. You're playing with a lot of people's savings. Mm-hmm. You're playing with a lot of people's money.
Right.
For you, it may be nothing, but for the end user, that house will be his life savings. So it's a lot of responsibility that you are supposed to carry on.
Right. So now, since you said that one should spend at least 2.5 years in a space before starting.
Minimum.
So any key aspects in whether
and
it's
today's time, I'm saying it has to be 5 years, because you have to go through, because there are no more simple standalone buildings that you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing some complex buildings.
Right.
And that takes you at least 5 years till you complete one.
So would you suggest any specific aspects that one should be looking for in that 5-year period during the life cycle?
No, I think you should look at the entire thing, right from the design stage, when you start putting your pencil down on the first day, to the handing over of the building.
Okay.
That exercise, that cycle has to be completed for you to know how entire process works, how each step has to go.
Right.
It's for your own good, because it should not be that tomorrow you're not aware of something and then you have a sad face in front of a client.
Right.
or as I said, is the life saving of the end user.
Right.
So you're playing with a lot of lives.